that shows is that with the cost for prison, for a prisoner incarcerated for the same numbers of years that they would be in school, that the person who goes to school, if they had the money that the prison uses for those prisoners, they could not only finish high school, they could go to college, and they would have money left over even if they wanted to go. So I do believe that we are being turned off early in our schooling, because I know that the literature also suggests that our aspirations are high among our young people when they go into school. Around the 3rd or 4th grade, those aspirations start to wane a bit, and mentally our students are dropping out earlier because the aspirations go down, because the stereotypes and expected behavior that the teachers have of students tend to kick in. Now, that's not every teacher, I'm not suggesting that, but just in the aggregate data, we know that our kids are being turned off. If we're willing to have communities fight over where jails are located as opposed to where schools are located, it seems to me that it would be good to us, folks in control, to make sure we warehouse a population such that we can maintain control. I think that the fear of the browning of America is certainly there. I think that our young people are being bamboozled. And when you speak to many of them, to talk to them about this, they've been made to think that the thing that I have to do is get out of school quick, and probably have no idea where they're getting out to go to. I think it's really, really sad. I do believe that if more of those men who are incarcerated, and we have some very bright men and women who are incarcerated from our communities, if they had a venue to speak out, and they may be the people who can help our young people, believe it or not, because there are some with wise words to say. There are also some who are knuckleheads, you know, and who are going to be there. But your initial question was, is that a new slavery? I would say absolutely, you know, because the jobs that they do, they've moved a lot of jobs into the prisons. When they come out, those jobs aren't going to necessarily be there. So if you want work, you go back into that cottage industry. You know, what pains my heart is that we are brighter than that kind of master plan that seems to be in effect. And something has taken the place of our ambition and aspirations, and of our, I would say, our sense of security. Something has taken the place of our spirituality. And so the question is, what has taken the place, and how do we knock that out? Some people have said that materialism has taken the place, that our quest to get things faster. So is it good for us to give our little babies, 2-year-old kids, $50 shoes? What do we get them accustomed to? Do they need the labels on everything at a young age? And so we can make them look like little dolls. And so when they get 10, they want the same thing. When they get 15, it doubles. Do we do that such that we have to teach our kids how to steal, which some of our parents do too? So something has taken the place. And I believe we're all culprits, in a way, in substituting education for getting things. And even now, when we tell our kids they need to go to college or something, it's so you can get a better job, you can earn more money, you can do all these things. And so I think materialism basically has really taken the place of some of those other values. One of the driving forces, we've had several driving forces historically in the black community. It's been education, it's been family, it's been community, it's been work, it's been religion. I did not hear it's been materialism. Okay, that wasn't in the mix. But materialism has taken the place.
It's taken the place of all of those you just named.
It's taken the place, you know, so at any cost. So, as a young person, I want what I want now.
Mm-hmm. And if I can't get it, then I'll take it from you.
And then, right, or I'll figure out a way to get it that may not be.
Exactly.
So it was a long answer, but I guess I'm supporting the notion that we've been bamboozled in a way in our community, and that people will always have, they're not building dorms, they're building prisons for us to occupy.
Do you remember the era when, if there was talk about a prison not building on the level that we are today, but that people would protest?
Absolutely.
The rich people in the community would say, no, you're not bringing a prison in here.
No.
I can tell you my own hometown in Illinois, they said, no, you'll never do it. Well, they've got a prison.
Well,
and a large one.
And they want these, the community started then, they switched from that to fighting over where these communities
want to be. Exactly.
I was talking
Money
to
talks.
Talking to a kid from Anamosa. I was teasing him, and I said, "Well, geez, you look like you could be a prison guard over there in Anamosa." He said, "Don't laugh." He said, "I was a prison guard,"
well,
and he said that prison supports our community. A lot of people work in that, so there's jobs.
You see, there's justification.
If we don't have manufacturing, we have prisons.
Right.
That's where we're going to employ people. Those are the jobs we need in the future. And if they keep cutting everybody's budget, we will have to have more prisons because people aren't going to go without food, clothing, and shelter.
That's the economic stimulus plan that's been going on for decades.
That's right.
Sure.
That's right.
It is the most amazing thing that the things that we have talked about, and in some cases, when I look back at our forefathers and foremothers, who in some cases gave their life just as we have our young people in these wars today who have given the ultimate gift, and again, it was their life. But I would think what mystifies me, Dr. Clayton, and saddens me, is the fact that our conduct today does not reflect the bill that our foreparents paid. And is this the best that we can do for the sacrifices that they made? When you look at our young people today, and with no guidance for the most part, when we're looking at 34-year-old grandmothers who are still, they're still ready to play. Now, talk to them about children, but then here are the grandchildren. Who's going to take care of them? When we don't honor or read or about our history, when we don't have respect for ourselves, who could possibly have respect for any person, man, woman, or child, who uses the word MF and B and all of that? That means I take that as a personal assault against myself, my mother, my grandmother, all my female relatives. You have insulted me to no end. Why would you do that? What is it that we need that we would allow this to even come into our homes? If you're down the street, it is warm enough now on a continuous basis. But you'll have car windows down, you'll hear all of that stuff, and if you think it's just us, it's not true.
Oh, no,
if you don't believe it, go to the shopping centers, and you'll see these kids of all nationalities doing the same thing.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It makes no sense
whatsoever. Because I was asking some students in my classes, and I must say out of the 90 or so students I have, I only have about 4 black students in my classes. So when I talk about my classes, I'm talking about a particular composition. But I was asking them why they use the language they do, because you can hear people calling the women on our campus calling people bees and
calling each other
that. That's the way they talk to each other. So this semantic derogation, I think they call it, when the words take on different values and meanings. But at any rate, even that aside, what you suggested, you feel insulted. You feel that your parents, your grandmother, but you are describing a sense of connection that you have with the people doing it and the people who have left this earth, so to speak. when we have people who are more consumed with things, they don't care about connections with people. So they don't have the same sensibilities, I don't think. You know, so if I'm using profanity, I feel no particular as a young person. I probably don't feel a respect or a connection to you at all.
That's the problem.
It's only me.
There's nothing there.
I'm the center of my universe, and my universe needs to have certain things in it. Everything else I can disregard.
Right.
That appears to be what's happening. And what's sad about it is that why don't these people feel loved? Why do they feel so hopeless and helpless that they would take this particular route? And it's because of the consumptive behavior, I think. And I'm borrowing from Cornel West and several other people, but it's that consumptive behavior that